Hey, good morning. It's Doc MD signing in. I'm just waking up maybe about 2 hours ago, and I thought to make a video that I have been wanting to make for a while. Um, I learned this secret diet hack, some years back, and I always questioned it. I learned it on my own, actually. I always questioned it because a lot of times when we feel as if we may have learned something on our own, it hasn't been researched, maybe it may not be as valid. Um, However, um, life and experiences have taught me that um, everything that you learn from someone else, and that person you learned it from, they had to be confident enough to um, stick by that conclusion. And so, without further ado, what I've learned is that do the dumb stuff early in the day, right? So, a lot of the things that you should not be eating, like high carb diets, the problem we have is that we do it at nighttime before we go to sleep. And as I've told you guys before, that weight is gained overnight, weight is lost throughout the day. Uh, so when you are actually going throughout your day eating, but you're burning calories, and when it comes time to sleep, you go to sleep, you wake up, you may find yourself weighing less the next morning. But when it comes to you eating right before you go to sleep, your body's trying to digest that food, and you wind up gaining weight. And not only that, you wind up interrupting your sleep. So one thing that I definitely always tell people, which stuff that every diet community tells people, is that you want to have high protein, low carbs. Um, Now I'm not uh, much of a keto person, um, more so than I believe in just having a balanced diet. And what that means is for me, which I try to practice, but eating carbs earlier in the day and tapering that to eating more protein the closer you get to your bedtime, but not right next to your bedtime. I don't believe you should eat within 4 hours of going to sleep. But up to that point, you should be going from possibly high carbs to higher protein, and then stop 4 hours before you go to sleep. That what that does is, now I'm not saying that you shouldn't eat protein throughout the day, but I'm saying if you're gonna eat carbs, they should be in the morning. Why is that? Carbs wake you up, depending. Okay, um, I'm not a proponent. I'm not a big proponent of bread. I'm not a big fan of bread. I like bread, but it's more of a disadvantage. It has more disadvantages than advantages. Like, you have a thick bagel, that's gonna weigh you down in the morning. When I think about carbs, uh, I think light carbs. Like, I just ate Honey Nut Cheerios, or and I just ate some oranges, or eat a mango, or um, a donut. It's probably a little bit lighter than a bagel, but bread still weighs you down. It takes away a lot of your energy. But other than that, um, fruit is probably your best option. But if you're not trying to go that route, you can still do a bagel. You can still do donuts. You can still do a cinnamon roll or whatever. but you want to do those carbs early in the day. Number one, you have more time to burn those carbs throughout the rest of the day. And then when you end in your day with high protein, protein keeps you fuller, right? Protein keeps you fuller. Protein helps you burn fat. Um, and then not only that, you're making sure that you get that protein requirement. What are proteins? I'll say it again: chicken, steak, lamb, eggs, cheese, peanuts are high in protein. Not all nuts are high in protein. Cashews have more fat than protein. Peanuts have more protein than carbs, unless it's flavored like with some type of like honey roasted or spicy chili flavored peanuts. Other than that, when it comes to when it comes to protein, go-to sources: chicken, beef, lamb, turkey, eggs, cheese, peanuts. And so, easy diet hack: eating the carbs that you want to eat, the guilty pleasures you have, eat that early in the morning. Right? Preferably before, say, 2 o'clock. Now, maybe it may not be as fun. Excuse me, I just woke up. Maybe that may not be as fun to you. But the reason that a lot of times we gain weight and we don't look how we want to look, we don't weigh what we want to weigh, we don't like to look at the scale in the morning, is because we like to have too much fun. And what does that get you in the long run? Having too much fun. It gets you fat, it gets you overweight, makes you low energy. So, in weight loss, you're either going to forego everything that you know as far as your lifestyle and diet and eating and just turn an entirely new leaf, or, which second part, this next part I agree with, you're going to do the same things that you do now, but in a completely different way. There's no other way. There's no other way. If you're going to lose weight and you're going to um, have the body that you want and look how you want, you're going to have to do something that you're not comfortable doing. Anybody that tells you otherwise, they're lying. Anybody that says you can eat whatever you want and still lose weight, best believe it's a gimmick. Not a gimmick, but best believe there's something hidden. I'm not hiding anything from you. You will have to do something different. You will have to not eat as much as what you eat now. You will have to time your eating, which is extremely important. Almost just as important about what you eat is when you eat it, which is this diet hack: eating your carbs earlier. Maybe stop at about 2 o'clock and then start to add the more protein in. Now you should have protein throughout all these diets, right? If you're gonna, through all these meals, if you're gonna eat, if I'm gonna eat a donut in the morning, I'd rather have an egg next to it. If I'm gonna eat, um, if I'm gonna eat, say, a Auntie Annie's pretzel, I would like to have maybe some peanuts with it or something to balance out the carbs. I'm very big on balancing carbs and protein. But sometimes I leave protein out. Like right now, I'm extremely tired because my sleep schedule is off. I work in the ED, the emergency department, and protein, when I'm sleepy or haven't had enough sleep, is going to make me tired. It takes a lot for your body to digest protein and fat. So if I'm tired and I need to wake up and I'm not drinking caffeine, what am I going to do? I'm going to eat carbs, but I'm not going to eat bread because that'll weigh me down too. I might get a smoothie. or get some oranges, or get some pineapples, or get some watermelon, or get some type of fruit medley from a bodega, because I live in Brooklyn, or wherever you're at the grocery store. Just giving you guys some insight into how I think. That will sustain me and keep me full because it has fiber, it has minerals, vitamins, um, electrolytes, to keep me sustained and also wake me up and give me energy. This is why vegans usually have a lot more energy, because they don't have as much animal products weighing them down and taking away their energy. Right? When you eat with the idea of efficiency, right? What is going to keep me going for longer? If I eat this, is it gonna weigh me down and make me want to sleep? If so, then I'm not gonna eat this. But what if I eat this instead? I eat it, I feel fuller, I don't feel like overeating afterwards, and I have more energy and I feel lighter. And this is why I'm not a big proponent of bread. Um, it weighs you down, it makes you sleepy, it makes you gain weight. It tastes good, but in the long run, it's taking away energy. It's making you gain weight. And the more weight gain that you get, the more weight that you put on, the less energy you have. So what's the point, right? But in the morning, what do we need? They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. We need to pick me up, right? So if you're asking me, I would say your best bet is to get a smoothie in the morning, get fruits in the morning, get your high sugar content in the morning. And when I say sugar, I'm not talking about the white sugar. I'm talking about natural sugars, if you can. But if you can't and you just have that craving, do it early. Just like they say in your teens and 20s, that's when you make dumb mistakes, make them early so you're not making those same silly mistakes in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. I say the same exact thing goes with your diet. That's my diet hack. Do the silly stuff in the morning. Eat the stuff you know you're not supposed to eat in the morning. Try to cut that off about 2 p.m. And then as you go on, more protein. I told you what protein is, right? Chicken, beef, lamb, turkey, eggs, peanuts, things like that. You want to get that. You want to tape your diet from carbs to protein, and then stop eating 4 hours before you go to sleep. If you can do that, you will notice you have a lot more energy, and it'll be easier to shed excess pounds. But as with anything that I or anyone else tells you, take it with a grain of salt. Don't overdo it. Do exactly what I said, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Anyway, this is Doc Martin signing out.